We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy.
Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Felicia. I'm coming to you guys because I just came back. My family and I just came back from the Thanksgiving break. We were actually gone for 2 weeks. We went down to Florida to spend some time with family. If you guys aren't aware, or if you're new to this channel, I do have a second channel. It's called Darling Fell. I'll insert the name right here, and I'll also link a direct tag in my description box below. But on that channel, it's pretty different from this channel. This channel here, I focus mainly on my plants, of course. I do plant hauls. I take you guys plant shopping with me. I do a lot of stuff around the house with my own plants. But over on that channel, I try to focus on things non-plant related. So travel, hauls, just everyday things in general. So check me out over there if you're interested in everything that we did while in Florida. We just got back yesterday and we got back at nighttime, so I didn't really get a good look at my plants, but I wanted to share with you guys how my plants are holding up after being on their own for 2 weeks. Now, I would say, you know, my name is JerseyWifeJerseyLife, so I live in Jersey. We've had a couple, like 2 to 3 really cold days while we were down in Florida. So I just want to make sure, and I'm looking at some of the plants over there off camera, I want to make sure all of my plants held up well during that like strong weather that we've experienced here. Well, I didn't experience because I wasn't here. This right here on my plant stand, this is a majority of my plants. So they're right in front of the window. And of course, plants are gonna go through their thing in the winter where they just remain dormant. I just wanted to take a look at all of my plants and show you guys as well what they're looking like. First, I'm going to start by taking a look at this plant app that I still continue to use. I believe it's called Plantcare. And for the most part, I've gotten used to when my plants need watering. Of course, they don't need as much water in the fall and winter. But because, again, I've been gone for 2 weeks, I want to make sure that I'm checking out which plants really need that water and which plants have gone a long time without it. So let's take a look at the plant app and then we'll jump into plant inspection. Let's go. So as you saw, a good chunk of my plants do need some water, but before I do that, I just want to take a closer look at what we got going on up here. Let's see, ponytail palm is looking good. I do see some brown leaves in here, like, let's see. Can you guys see it? Here's one right here. Like this, of course, brown leaves. So I'll trim what has to go. And then moving on to one of my satin pothos here, as you can see, this one has some yellow leaves. So, I mean, whenever you see yellow leaves, of course you want to remove them because you don't want too much energy when you water your plants going towards the yellow leaves. You just want it to focus on those healthier leaves. So I just pick them out, no big deal. And usually when it's yellow and crispy, it's pretty simple to remove them. It's not much trouble at all. So let me grab that. Here's my golden pothos. Let's see, I see this little guy here. Let's see if it came out pretty easy. What else do we got going on? And right now I'm just kind of inspecting everything. Let me just take it down all together. So here's a better look at that one. This one actually looks pretty good, surprisingly, which I'm very impressed with. Hopefully you guys can see that. So I'm just, you know, inspecting everything before I give them their water to remove any dried up leaves, crispy leaves, yellow leaves, but they're in pretty good shape. So I'm not going to show all the plants that I need to water because as you saw, it's a lot, but for now, I'll just show you here. Well, I have my Monstera Peru, my Adansonii, and I have my Hoya rope in there. So I'm just gonna, I've already watered the Peru. Let me go ahead and water the Adansonii. And when I'm watering my plants, for the most part, I just bring them all to the sink and I water them here. It's just so much easier to drain them out. In the summertime, springtime, when it's nice out, I'll take them outside and I'll water it you know, I'll put like a little saucer underneath so I can catch the water. But a lot of times I just bring them to the sink because it's just so much easier and less of a headache than using the saucer and doing that. I've said in the past video, but if you're new, when I water my Hoya rope, hopefully you guys can see it here in the sink, I usually will douse it with water so I can spray in between the leaves because the leaves are curly, so it's hard to know if there's any pests or anything. Thank God I haven't faced any pest issues with this particular Hoya rope. I did with my smaller one, but with this one I haven't seen anything, thankfully, so I'm going to assume it's because of the method I use. So let me just show you guys. Hopefully you can see, but I turn on the water, and on my nozzle here I just have this hose, which is really helpful to be able to do this. And I just pretty much just go through all the leaves. Let me move this Adansonii out of the way. Yeah, so that's like all I do just to make sure I'm getting in those leaves. And then once I do that, then I go ahead and I water the soil, because of course that's the focus. Want to make sure those roots get the water that it needs. And I try not to overwater because, you know, you don't want to give it too much water, but you do want to give it enough because you're watering the plants less. So because you're watering it less, you want to make sure they have enough water to last them. This one usually gets watered about once a month, and that's it. I think I'm gonna put one more plant in here. Let me go grab my Calathea. Here is my Calathea ornata that I'm gonna add to the mix. And this one I'm not gonna give it regular tap water. I'm gonna use distilled water. So I'm gonna add this one here to the bottom. Now, if you're a new plant parent, I know a lot of you guys that follow me, you guys already know a lot of this stuff, so I do appreciate you continuing to come back and watch my plant journey. But for anyone that is new, if you're wondering, well, how do I know my plants need water? A lot of plants are really good at letting you know when they need water. You see my Calathea, you see how some of the leaves are bent down? Now, it could be a bit confusing with Calathea plants because they are considered prayer plants, meaning that the leaves go up and down. So sometimes that's not always the best indicator that it needs water, but for the most part, with most of your plants, that's how you're gonna be able to tell that it needs water. And I'm just removing some of these dead leaves in here that I just noticed. So let me remove that from the bottom. With my Hoya rope, you know when that one needs water because the leaves will kind of curl up really tightly. Typically the leaves, even though they are curled tightly, it'll curl in just a little bit more than usual when it needs water. So I was really worried about this Calathea when I went on vacation because I was like, oh my gosh, I hope it's been growing and doing so well for me. So I didn't want it to be without. I believe the last time I watered this was like a week prior to me going on vacation. So it's been about 3 weeks since this one received water. And yes, even though it is, you know, the dormant season, you still want to keep this one relatively moist because they just enjoy being moist. So just going to make sure I soak it down well. All right. And as you can see, the water is draining out there at the bottom. So I'm going to leave these in here, let them drain out, and I'm going to move on to the next thing. So here's the next thing that I wanted to take a look at was my propagations. I shared with you guys, and I maybe sound like I'm repeating myself, especially if you've seen a majority of my videos or you're a subscriber. But for anyone that is new, because I did notice that I've received a handful of new subscribers, thank you guys so much for stopping by my channel. Let me come into the camera. So for anyone that's recently subscribed to my channel, I have recently deconstructed my Monstera deliciosa. Well, recently meaning like in the last month and a half. So this is what it looks like behind me. I'll give you a close-up shot, but what I'm doing now is I'm just gonna monitor the water because I am water propagating them. And again, gone for 2 weeks. So I wanna make sure the roots have enough water to grow. So let's get a closer look. So here are those Monstera propagations, and I just wanna get a closer look at the water. So here is the first one, and as you can see, this one needs some water for sure. So I'm gonna get some water added to that. Here is the next one. This one seems to be in pretty good shape, but I may top it off with some water. Actually, the water's looking a little yellow, so I'm just gonna give all of them some fresh new water. As you can see, there's the roots on that one, and here's some roots up top, but neither one of them has water. Need to clean the water because you see that? So we'll get that cleaned. Here are some other propagations I'm working on. My Ficus Taniki. This one absolutely needs water. The water is way down here, and these roots here at the top are fully exposed. And then I'm just propagating this. Which one is this? I believe this may be, I believe this is my neon pothos. I wasn't sure if it was the neon or the golden. This one also needs some water. So there's the water there at the top. So just a little bit of water. So I'll go ahead and add water to those. I don't think you necessarily need to see that, but I'll be back in a bit. I'm back over here by the stand, and here are some of the plants here at the bottom. Each of these need water, but they're actually doing really well. I'm really impressed. These plants, they made me proud while I was gone because they were on my mind. Of course, I was enjoying time with my family, but you know, I couldn't help but think about my plants. So they're doing well. I mean, as you saw, there were yellow leaves, there were brown leaves, crunchy leaves, but overall the plants held up really, really nicely. Just need to give them some water and they'll be good. Here's this other Monstera propagation. This one, I recently planted it up in this pot. So everybody's doing well. Like no one, I thought for sure I was gonna come home and see some plants like on their last breath. This is my neon pothos. Got this crunchy leaf here, and I'll do some more inspection, but overall, my plants, they made me proud. This one also needs water. I'll take a look at it. What's this little thing here? Oh, that's just like a water spot. Sorry. So this one's grown quite a bit. When I first got this one, I got this from Amazon, and I got this because I got it before I got the larger one, and I got this because I was not seeing them in any stores. So I went on Amazon and ordered this. When I first got it, it was so tiny. It was just pretty much up here, and it's gotten so long. I don't mind that it's just like one single stem because I just think it looks so cute, like a little ponytail. So there's that. And of course, the plants that I did not have any worries about whatsoever were my hardy plants. That I didn't have any worries about whatsoever were my hardy plants. So like my snake plants, my ZZ plants. This one has grown quite a bit since I moved it to my shelf here, and it's directly under my grow light. But I mean, you guys know snake plants take a long time to grow anyways, but it has just grown so much. Here's my Crimson Queen. Oh, I think I see a yellow leaf in there. You see that? So I'll go ahead and pluck that off. Please ignore my lack of moisturized fingers. And you see how easy it just comes off? Like whenever you have yellow leaves, no need to tug, it just comes off really easy. Just get rid of it and you are good. As you can see, there's another one in here that's kind of turning yellow, but I'll give it some time to completely turn because I don't want to yank. Oh, never mind. There we go. I was gonna say I don't want to yank it too much and disturb the entire plant, but it came off relatively easy. So this guy needs some water, and then this is where I put the larger Hoya rope. So
And a cup of good cheer. We won't go until we get some. We won't go until we get some. We won't go until we get some. So bring some out here. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings.
all right, you guys, I'm just gonna wrap things up here. I'm gonna continue to water the rest of my plant. I'm gonna clean my plant shelf, do some more inspection on some of the other plants that I didn't show you to make sure I'm removing all yellow and dried and brown crispy leaves. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you have any questions, leave them for me down below in the comments. If not, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.